Alright, hello. Welcome everyone to the stream. DSP here. It is Friday, March 4th, 2016, and we're kicking this month off with a bang. Ladies and gentlemen, today is the return of Nintendo. That's right. Today Nintendo returns. After a long hiatus of me even doing anything Nintendo related, I have returned with Twilight Princess on the Wii U. The new HD re-release. I'm burping like crazy, excuse me. Oof. I just started drinking a seltzer water and you can already hear it. So yeah, hello and welcome. It's been a long time since I did anything Nintendo related. If you guys and gals remember, the last time that I did anything with Nintendo was way back when, I believe it was either September or October, when I did my final session of Super Mario Maker. Yes, Super Mario Maker. Which was a great game. It actually ended up being one of my favorite games of the year. I, put it into my top games kind of countdown and, let everyone know that it was quite one of the best Nintendo releases in a long time, quite honestly. But that's the last time I booted my Wii U. Because the bottom line is there's been absolutely nothing to play on it besides Xenoblade Chronicles X, which I don't have time to play. I just don't have time to play an insanely long, drawn-out JRPG with all the other stuff that's been going on. There just hasn't been an opportunity. I feel bad because there was a good 3 JRPGs that all came out around the same time at the end of last year, and there's just no time to play them. It was terrible release timing, If those had been released in a summer months or a downtime, it would have made a lot more sense. Instead, they decided to release these long, drawn-out freaking games way later. Way later in the year is what I meant to say. Way later in the year, around the hardcore gaming season, when there's so much other stuff, I just didn't have opportunity to try them. And it's funny, because I've heard both good and bad things about Xenoblade Chronicles X. I don't know. I don't know if I'll ever get around to playing it, but in regards to Nintendo, yeah, there's been nothing going on. Really, there's been absolutely nothing going on. So, here's the good news. The good news is, this is the beginning of a trend. There's actually several Wii U games coming out in the next couple of months that, in my opinion, they're worth checking out, and I'll be playing them. So, this is the first. The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess HD. In a week or so, actually it's a little, 2 weeks time, we've got Pokken Tournament. The fighting game starring Pokemon characters. That could be pretty interesting. And then, in late April, we've got Star Fox Zero. Finally, after how many years have we been waiting for an official Star Fox sequel? We get one. Star Fox 64 was the last official installment on a console. Now, I know that there was one or two on mobile devices, handheld, what was it? Was it on 3DS? I don't remember if it was on 3DS or Game Boy Advance. I think it was on the regular Nintendo DS, there was a Star Fox game. But yeah, so Star Fox coming in April, which is I'm excited for. So, yeah, 3 games on the Wii U in the next several months that I'll be checking out. And then, of course, nothing probably for the rest of the year. Although a lot of people are pretty hopeful for E3 this year. Even though Nintendo doesn't do a press conference at E3, they just do another Nintendo Direct or whatever. Hopefully people are hoping for some new games coming out by the end of the year. I guess we'll see. I guess we shall see, So anyway, ladies and gents, yes, today the premiere of Zelda Twilight Princess HD, and I have a few things to say here on the pre-stream. First of all, apologies the stream's late. I usually like to start about 30 to 40 minutes earlier than I started today, but, first of all, there was a lot of traffic. Excuse me. I'm drinking a seltzer water, it's making me very gassy. But anyway, there's a lot of traffic between here and GameStop this morning. So it took a while to actually pick up the game and get home. And then when I tried to boot up my Wii U, it needed a bunch of updates because I haven't turned that Wii U on since I played Super Mario Maker, so I had to deal with that. Took care of that. And then, you know, I put the game in and all that. I had to get everything working here. I am going to be using the Pro Controller for The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess HD. Not going to be using the pad. In fact, I looked it up, and apparently the only advantage to using the gigantic Wii U pad with this game is that you actually get like a mini map that's always opened on the screen of the freaking Wii U pad. So really nothing. There's no advantage. And I'm sorry, I like normal size game controllers. I don't like trying to play these kind of games, real hardcore games, with a gigantic fucking pad. It's so silly. Plus that thing's battery dies in like 2 hours anyway. So, I will be doing it on the Pro Controller, which I've only used the Pro Controller a couple times. I'm actually trying to remember which games in particular I used it for. Not many. Maybe 2 or 3 tops. A lot of games don't actually work with the Pro Controller. I'm quite happy that this one does, especially because I've heard that this is actually one of, if not the longest Zelda game ever made. So, I certainly would would like to use a regular controller with the thing. That's good. So, I'll be starting this right now on stream. We'll be playing for around 3 hours on this first stream. Later tonight, I'll be doing another 2-hour stream. So, it'll be around 5 hours of Zelda gameplay today. All in all, it should be good enough to hopefully get through the early stages of the game. Maybe get through a dungeon or 2. I don't know. You know how these Zelda games are. Typically, there's a long-ass intro. Your first dungeon typically takes a while to get through because they're teaching you mechanics and stuff, so you get used to the game. And so we'll see how far we get today. And this will be my main game for about a week, with 1 or 2 times where I may do something different. For example, on Monday I'm thinking of doing another Street Fighter V stream, since people seem to enjoy when I go back to Street Fighter V. And also, next week I am strongly considering doing a stream of Hearthstone. And I know that's kind of weird and out there. It's certainly something I'm not not accustomed to doing, and I never really do mobile gaming like that. But I've been playing Hearthstone for a little over a week now on my my phone and my iPad at night. I kind of relax and watch some television or a movie or something with Leanna down in the living room, and I play some Hearthstone to relax myself. And I've been having fun with the game, even though I really do believe the game is pay to win. It seems that way. And it also is very random. Even though there's skill involved, there's a lot of randomness to it as well with the drawing of cards and such. But apparently, I talked about this on yesterday's episode of Ask the King, my Q&A show that I do about once every couple months. And people in the comments of the video were like, "You gotta play it. We've never seen you play it. We want to see you play it." So I might actually do a Hearthstone stream this coming week just to test the waters, just to see. You know, if nothing comes of it, nothing comes of it. You know, if people end up liking it, great. But we'll see, okay? So anyway, that's coming up this week, hopefully. We'll see. But outside of those two things, maybe a stream of Street Fighter and a stream of Hearthstone, this is basically going to be the game that I focus on kind of for the week. So I'll be playing this 2 streams today. Tomorrow there'll be a stream. Sunday there will be a stream. I'm thinking that maybe 1 or 2 days this week I'm going to do a double stream of it, simply because I know how long it is. People are saying it's incredibly long, and if that is the case, I would like to, you know, hopefully finish the game before we get caught up with multiple new releases. Now, really, there's the next new release coming out, FYI, is The Division next week, and I've decided I'm not going to play it. Okay, I'm not going to be playing The Division. I've made the executive decision at this point. I'm skipping it. So that means the next game that I'm actually going to play that's a new game is Hitman. And the first episode of that comes out Friday, March 11th. And then the next new game coming out after that is the Tuesday after. So really I have between right now and that Tuesday to pretty much kind of finish the game. Now, I don't know. If the game is as long as everyone's saying, typically these Zelda games are between 20 and 30 hours long, depending on what you do. And if you do like a lot of searching and exploration or whatnot. So I don't know, you know, if I'm doing around 3 to 5 hours of gaming a day. Could I finish it? I don't know. I guess we'll find out, right? I certainly don't want this game to be lingering by at the end of the month. That would suck. But we'll see what happens, you know? So, mostly it's going to be Zelda the next week. So if you are a fan and you're happy that I'm playing this, well, good for you. You're going to definitely enjoy the next week. If you're not a fan of Zelda, first of all, why are you on the stream for Zelda right now? That's kind of confusing. But, okay, if you're not a fan of Zelda, you know, I will be doing my best to mix things up. And like I said, Street Fighter, maybe some Hearthstone, the Hitman will be in there. And I'm also looking to maybe do a few things with vlogging and stuff. So hopefully there will be some variety for you. So we'll see. We'll see how this goes. Now, a few things about the game. Number one, I've never played Twilight Princess. Okay, I just want to make this abundantly clear. This is my first run in the game. In fact, I've never even seen gameplay of Twilight Princess. I'm not even kidding you. This was an era when this game came out, what was it, 2006, I think? That was the era, that was kind of the last couple of years when I was heavily into Street Fighter. As in, pretty much all I was doing was playing Street Fighter in a competitive fashion. And I was doing some casual gaming, but it was not on Nintendo. Alright? So, the bottom line is, I've never seen the game. I know nothing. It's totally cold. Okay? Totally cold. And I don't know, you know, how long it's really going to take me to beat it. I don't know if I'm going to have difficulty with it. I heard varying reports. Some people say it's the easiest Zelda game. Some people say all Zelda games are easy. I tend to disagree. I think a lot of Zelda games, if you don't know exactly what you're supposed to do, it can be quite cryptic. But if you know what to do, yeah, then it's pretty easy, right? Then you can fly through it, but that's the catch. If you're playing it the first time, you don't know exactly what to do in certain situations. A lot of bosses and stuff can be almost like puzzles, right? So yeah, so I've never played it. Playing it cold. Alright, playing completely cold. Number two, I bought the retail version of the game, primarily because I knew I would want to trade it in. I knew that after I play the game and beat it, I'm not going to want to play it again. So I wanted to trade it in, okay? Unfortunately, I got roped into buying it with an Amiibo, even though I didn't want to, okay? I was very confused, because here's the thing. When I reserved it months ago, I just said I want to reserve Twilight Princess HD and put down my standard $5 or whatever it is to reserve it. That was it. So when I went to the store and I picked it up this morning, I was very confused when they handed me the version with the Amiibo. So I'm thinking, oh, okay, you know, comes with the Amiibo for free or whatever. Maybe that's what the deal is. Because as you guys and gals know, I'm not exactly the biggest fan of Amiibos. I think that Amiibos are an insanely cheap and just underhanded way for Nintendo to make a quick buck and make up for all the mistakes they've made financially by selling these silly-ass collectibles that really add nothing to the games. It is just a freaking a trick, a marketing ploy for them to make extra money because the Wii U's been such a huge flop. And sadly, it worked. I hate to say it, but sadly, it has worked. So many people have jumped on the Amiibo fad. The Amiibos sell like hotcakes when they're new releases. You go to conventions and the rarest Amiibos sell for hundreds of dollars. It's a joke. It's insane. They're little collectibles. They're little pieces of plastic. They don't fucking have any value. But collectors go wild for these things. I don't like them. I think that they distract from the fact that Nintendo's supposed to be a game maker. They give Nintendo a way out of their mistakes, which I don't agree with. I think that they should feel the burn of their own mistakes so that they have to learn from them rather than making these cheap ways to get out of them. Right? So, here we are. I'm picking up Twilight Princess HD at GameStop, and they hand me this version with the Amiibo in it. I'm like, oh, maybe I got it for free, whatever. I don't want it. I'm not going to use it. But it is technically my first Amiibo. And, whatever. So, I get into my car. I look at my receipt. I paid $60 for the game. And I'm like, wait a minute, isn't this like a re-release? Like, why would a re-release of a game be $60? So, I tweeted about it, and people started responding to me on Twitter saying, oh no, you see, you got roped into it because the physical edition, if you actually want to buy the physical version of the game, you have to buy it with the Amiibo for an extra $10. You're actually stuck. You cannot buy a physical copy of Twilight Princess HD on the Wii U without buying the Amiibo. It comes with it by default. So immediately I'm thinking in my head, so that means that it's basically a worthless Amiibo, because you know that the game is mass-produced, right? So you know that there's probably how many hundreds, thousands of these things, so they're worth nothing. Completely valueless. So, immediately, what would have been a nice collector's item has no value at all. And I paid $10 extra for it. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Twilight Princess HD actually only costs $50. But, to buy the physical version, you're charged $60 with the reasoning, the rationale, that you paid $10 extra for the piece of shit worthless Amiibo. And so I facepalm, I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. So everyone in the United States is being roped into buying this fucking thing, even if they don't want it. So then I said, alright, well, you're supposed to get something when you buy the Amiibo, right? You're supposed to get something for it. So what do I get? And on the box, it actually says, oh, it's great. You get a whole new dungeon. 40 rooms. It's great. Great new dungeon. It's awesome. Okay, well, if it is really a new dungeon, that could be kind of cool. So I tweeted about it, and people on Twitter say, nope, lie. It's a blatant lie. It's not a new dungeon. What it is, it's rehashed rooms from the other dungeons in the game. The only difference is instead of playing as human Link, you're playing as the wolf form of Link. And it basically is just a pointless challenge dungeon. Adds nothing to the game. Completely worthless. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. So, not only did I pay $10 extra for an Amiibo I don't want and will never have any value in, but also the challenge dungeon that you get for it is a piece of shit that I'll never play. Delightful. So, the only silver lining on all of this is that because I did buy the retail version, I could trade it in. In the United States, you cannot buy this game by itself in a store, but you could get just the game digitally over, you know, the eShop or whatever here on the Wii U, but it costs $50. So, the good news is, let's say I beat this game in 2 to 3 weeks, I'll be able to trade it back to GameStop and at least get some money, you know what I mean? At least some money. You know, hopefully I'll get at least $20 for it. I guess we'll see, because here's the thing. Even though I paid $60, really the game's value is only $50. So, typically GameStop will give you just under half of the value of a game if you trade it in relatively quickly. For example, today I traded in Far Cry Primal, and I got $27.50. So just under half the value of the game, right? So, I'll try to trade it in, and hopefully I'll get like $20, $25 for it. Alright? I guess we'll see. Now, what's funny, this is what's pretty funny, okay? Other Amiibos actually do better things in the game than the Amiibo that the game fucking comes with. This is not a joke. This is not me exaggerating. If you had a Link or Toon Link Amiibo, okay, and I'm actually going to pick up the box because it tells you right on the box. If you had the Link or the Toon Link Amiibo, the game will allow you to refill your arrows by scanning those in. If you had either the Zelda or the Sheik Amiibo, it will refill your health. So, if you had those Amiibos, you could basically cheat in the game to have infinite health and infinite arrows. If you have the Ganondorf Amiibo, you take double damage. Why on earth anyone would want to do that? I have absolutely no idea. By the way, why the hell those options aren't in the game anyway? Because obviously they exist if you can, the Amiibo enables them. You know what I mean? Like, basically, Amiibos are the ultimate on-disc DLC, yet everyone has issues with on-disc DLC until Amiibo. Like, everyone complained when there were all these DLCs that were already locked on your game disc, right? Every other, what was it? Dragon's Dogma, Street Fighter Cross Tekken. There was a ton of games that had this on-disc DLC, and everyone went nuts. It was a huge negative thing. No one, we don't support this, right? How dare you? How fucking dare you? But then, when Amiibos launch, oh, that's cool. That's awesome that Nintendo's doing that. It's like, Yeah, but the things you're unlocking with the Amiibo are already in the game, so they're on-disc DLC, but you have to buy the fucking Amiibo, which is DLC, to unlock it. But no one wants to think of it like that. Everyone wants to justify it. Oh, it's a collectible and you get added stuff for free. No, you don't. You paid for it. You pay. Every time you buy an Amiibo, you're buying on-disc DLC. Really stupid. So, yeah, so the Amiibos that I don't have, that didn't come with the game, have a better value and a better use in the game than the one that actually freaking came with the game. Unbelievable. Pretty ridiculous, right? Alright, so we're going to get started with gameplay in a moment. I just wanted to get all this stuff off my chest and talk about it a little bit before we got started. Ouch. So hopefully you guys enjoy. You know, I really like Zelda games. I do. But I do realize that they can become drawn out, right? They can become a bit tedious. Last year I played Majora's Mask for the first time ever, and I actually really enjoyed the game, even though it was a little cryptic in certain parts, and unfortunately the stream chat did have to help me out with a couple things because there was no way I was going to figure it out by myself. But for the most part, I enjoyed the game. Too bad the playthrough's gone, and you can never watch that because I had to take it down for false copyright concerns. Sorry about that. Sucks, right? But it is what it is, I guess. So now at least there'll be a new Zelda playthrough for you to watch, and I did do a full playthrough of both Skyward Sword years ago when it was new for the Wii, and I also did a full playthrough of The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past a few summers ago on the Summer of Retro. So, if you are on a Zelda kick, and you're not satiated by this week's Zelda stuff, you can watch those two playthroughs as well, okay? Alright, now it's time for gratuitous plugs for everyone. Ready for gratuitous plugs? Here we go, gratuitous plugs, and then we'll get started. First off, thank you to everyone who pledged to my Patreon in the month of February. You can check it out at patreon.com/DarksidePhil. We hit our funding goal, which is great, which means that there will be an upcoming platforming marathon at the end of March. And in fact, I am going to set up the poll for that, and I am going to be upgrading patrons' accounts and such in the next couple of weeks. It takes a while because I have to get the information from the patrons first. So that's good news, right? I am going to be setting up the goal for this month within the next week or two. Probably about the middle of March, you'll know what the new goal level is for March. But if you're watching this live stream, or if you're watching this pre-stream on demand on YouTube, if you're watching this gameplay on stream, or you like the on-demand videos that I put on YouTube, if you enjoy the increase in vlogging that I've been doing this year on my channel, The King of Hate Vlogs, and if you like the new edited content that I'm putting out on KO Gaming, no matter what it is that I'm doing that you like, if you'd like to support this effort and allow me to continue to doing this in the full time, please consider pledging to my Patreon. As little as $1. As little as that sounds, it helps because the most successful Patreon campaigns don't rely on people pledging tons of money at all. The most successful Patreon campaigns have lots of people giving $1. That's the God's honest truth. Go look at anyone who has these successful Patreons. It's all a million people giving small amounts. So that way, it's not a lot out of your pocket. It doesn't kill you financially, but it adds up and it helps me. It allows me to continue doing this. You know, and I kind of said this last year. I said, imagine if the majority of my income came in through Patreon rather than having to worry about ads on YouTube and stuff like that. I'd have so much freedom. I wouldn't have the financial struggle on my back all the time. I wouldn't be stressed out. I wouldn't give a shit about this stuff, views and all that. But unfortunately, that's not reality. That is not. The majority of my income comes in from YouTube, and Patreon is supplemental. Hopefully one day, I'll get to a point where maybe it's the flip-flop of that. We'll see. But please consider pledging. You get personal perks for your pledges, like getting either text or verbal thank yous in my videos. In fact, I just did verbal thank yous yesterday on Ask the King. In addition to that, you can get your questions answered on Ask the King, or you can even get a private Q&A video made just for you, where you can have kind of almost a personal conversation with me. You send me your questions and I'll answer them for you. Everyone who's gotten that high-level perk, by the way, the private Q&A video, loved it. I got nothing but positive feedback on it. So I hope that many of you will consider pledging, especially if you like the content, okay? And then last but not least, certainly not least, because I have a big announcement, my girlfriend Leanna has her own business. It's called The Black Currant. She sells handmade glycerin soaps and wax tart melts. And ladies and gentlemen, 2 big announcements as of today. Number 1, today she's launching her new spring line of products. A whole new line of scents for her wax tarts and her soaps that have gone live. So that's cool. And number 2, as of today, if you are a domestic customer, as in if you live in the United States, she's now offering first class postal shipping. The number 1 complaint she's gotten is not about her product. It's about the cost of shipping, which we wholeheartedly agree. Shipping is expensive. For whatever reason, you know, shipping everywhere is very expensive. And some customers are like, you know, I'd like to try a soap, but, you know, being that the shipping was so pricey, for me to just try one soap, I don't know if I want to do it. So now if you live in the United States, she's offering first class shipping, which is a lot cheaper for small orders. If someone just wants to try a sampling, a single bar, the shipping is now going to be reasonable prices. Okay? So, Gino Saji in the stream chat just posted the link if you want to check it out, but I'll also verbally say it. Etsy.com, ETSY.com, /shop/The Black Currant, spelled CURRANT. Give it a look. You'd be surprised. A lot of people say, why would, you know, Phil be plugging this kind of stuff in his gameplay streams and stuff? It's very simple because it's not just for girls. Which everyone, oh, soap, it's a girly thing. It's not. How dare you? Everyone needs to scrub their bodies. Everyone needs to get that funk out of there, right? And you'd rather get some high-quality soap that smells great, is good for your skin, rather than those harsh detergent bars that you'll buy at the store made of chemicals that are bad for you. That's why they're so cheap, because they're not really soap. They're detergent bars. Take a look at the fine print of the supposed soap that you buy. Chances are it probably is a detergent bar. A lot of people don't realize this. So check it out. Most customers who've ordered from her were actually males. A lot of them have been viewers and fans of ours from our videos and content and stuff that we put out on YouTube. And she's got nothing but positive feedback. Hundreds of customers, over 150 orders, hundreds of items shipped, nothing but positive feedback. She recently just celebrated her 1-year anniversary. So definitely check it out at The Black Currant. Okay, everyone, check out the new spring line of products, which I actually personally helped her to pick out, so I know firsthand that it's good stuff. In fact, I only washed with her soap. Last night, I took a shower with her Kentish Rain scent, which is now available. It's one of the ones that she's selling right now. You can wash with the same soap as me. You can stick the same bar of soap that I wash with between your butt cheeks.
Maybe you shouldn't advertise that.
It's not the exact same bar of soap, not the one I used, but it is the same kind of soap. Ha! Flying Frog in the stream chat says, yeah, but when I buy like Axe at the store, it tells me I'm going to get play from the ladies. I personally guarantee you, any soap from The Black Currant will get you play from the ladies, because guess what? If Axe can bullshit, I can bullshit too. My guarantee is just as good as theirs. There you have it. Alright, so that is it, everyone. I'm going to get started now with Zelda. Hope you're excited. Let us begin. Thank you for being here, and let us begin. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yes.